the city. Pure love, pure romance, and so I believe that love is blind. Such a funny kind of concept. Reality television and looking for true love. But of course, there is maybe people are really just looking to become famous, become social media influencers, because that is a real job these days. I would say, heck, look at me, that's my job now. But I don't like this word influencer because I never want to influence you to buy junk, shall I say. Anywho, I'm getting way off topic. Let's talk Love is Blind. One of the big criticisms that I hear about this season is its lack of diversity. Well, it's true. The upper Midwest is not one of the most racially diverse places in the world, and so I can see how you look at a lot of these dudes, and yeah, they're all like blondes. They all look very Nordic, but hey, that is a culture. Am I right? I mean, I'm Nordic. I'm Norwegian. Is that what we're saying when we say we're Nordic? So speaking of, when you look at a contestant like Joey, Monica, she said, oh, he's like Tarzan, and I also think, well, he also looks like a Viking to me. The last episode I just saw, episode 12, they got to go to the Vikings, I was going to say Coliseum, stadium practice facility, probably for a bachelor party. I mean, how fun is that? Pretty epic. I think I'm kind of going backwards here, so with that last episode that I watched, and the women, what did they get to do? Oh, this is the best. They went to the Mall of America. I can't tell you how much I love it, because when I lived in Minneapolis, I lived there for 4 years, and one of my jobs was I worked at the Mall of America well, it was at the time called Snoopy, Camp Snoopy, because they had licensed to all the Snoopy characters, but then in my tenure there, it transitioned to do Nickelodeon Universe, and my job was, I was a costume character slash, how do you say, a guide, a handler for the costume characters. Anywho, so I was in, like, inside Patrick's store. I was too tall to be inside SpongeBob, but I was Patrick, and I remember when they first got the Patrick costume, I was walking around in the basement and trying it out, and I ducked to go in through a doorway, and I didn't duck enough in on top of the store, top of the prong. I got dirty, gross, like oily wall dirt on him, and I was mortified. This brand new, I don't even know how many thousands and thousands of dollars this costume got, but of the season, like the cliffhanger of Daniel, did you follow me and then unfollow me on Instagram? Which he honestly couldn't remember if he did. And look, I just want to believe him because they, to me, look like the ultimate best love story of this season. Like, super pure. Then I'm like, they all are, because aren't they all nurses? Is she a nurse? I cannot remember. You know who is a nurse though? Sarah. And I cannot believe how much Sarah, hey, my sister-in-law, if you're watching this, hey, I'm about to talk about you. I know that sometimes my sister-in-law will check in on these YouTubes, and that's so sweet because this is also a sort of like private venture for me. And when I think about people I know well, peeking in on it, I get shy, I get embarrassed, so I just like to think that I'm talking to, like, random strangers who are also my best friend strangers. Anywho, Sarah reminds me so much of my sister-in-law. It's this very pure Nordic look. It's the blonde hair. It's the, like, total beautiful, beautiful features with not a lick of makeup. And jerky jerks. I don't know. Aren't hot guys in college just jerks? Well, you don't have to be. And you'd think a Minnesota boy would not be. I say that because I love the Minnesota boy, and he is the absolute not jerkiest person ever in the world. But jerks exist. But why the baseball connection? Anywho, so if you want to go into a little bit of drama about the Lauren and Dave of it all, oh, it bothers me because I do feel that it is, I don't know if I can say the word, promiscuous woman shaming, and that's really not cool, Dave, because she was hooking up with someone a week before, in the months leading up to the process. I don't know. It seems kind of double standard to me, but then again, it would be a double standard if he was doing it too and he wasn't, and then I guess his point of view was I just took this so seriously and was already like married to this invisible mystery person in my heart, and so I'm not gonna. Ridiculous. Anyhow, Lauren, some people just like can fascinate you, and I love her like dewy skin and her big white teeth, and her eyes are always so glassy, and she is crying a lot, but she's just one of those people who I can find really satisfying to look at her face. I suppose that's why they're always on the hunt to find these the perfect people for reality television. Okay, I just want to see if this is gonna be the right length. I think why not? Well, but it does shrink up a little bit. Maybe I need to go a little bit. I'm gonna go longer because longer is better. Better is longer is better is bigger is. Okay. So, I'm looking at this little list of the contestants. I just saw Joey and Monica. Okay. Not really much drama there except with the sister. Am I right? Monica's sister. But I thought it was so cool to see the sister in her element in this last episode of being the photographer in all these cool downtown. I just looked at the time and I realized, like, well, once I know my foot is falling asleep, but I could easily talk about this for an hour, so I doubt I'm gonna get anywhere near my scarf in an hour, but it's a process, right? And there's always more episodes coming out Friday. Okay. The photography in the alleyways of I can only assume they were in like downtown warehouse district. I looked this up. They call it the North Loop. That's where also they housed them in these apartments downtown. I just get so giddy because of my romantic feelings and memories. Now, what I know about this specific neighborhood in the North Loop, when I first moved to Minneapolis after I had went to school in London, my physical theater actor devised created physical theater school in London. The head of it said, you should move to Minneapolis after this because they have a great physical theater scene. At the time, the Theater de la Jeune Lune was really a big deal, and they had won the Regional Tony Award, and there was a lot of that work going on in Minneapolis. And so I was urged to go there, start a company, and create new work, which is exactly what I did, which is how I met my husband. Anywho, when I did move there, the head of my school, okay, yes, he was sort of like a cult leader, but that's cool. I'm into cults too. In a fun way, though. In a totally not serious, just lighthearted pieces of drama to hang on to, and what is going to be the drama of your couple. Evidently, this was the drama of theirs. And isn't it cute that his family had a family big? Anything, you want to show off the, quirkiness of your family life, and for them it was a big. But, Virginia, gorgeous. Can you believe it? A doctor who is a former NBA cheerleader. Is that right? Am I right? What a combination. And her house was so cute, and I love that she had a minimal house, so she can just go jet set around. Goals, woman goals. Okay, I think we might be at the right length here. Do I really want to make it a scarf? Yes, because that's the easiest. That's definitely long enough, so let's pick up, flip it, tip it, and reverse it. Whatever the words are of that one. But yes, I do seem to notice age differences, right, with Devin and Virginia. But it, majority, what's their difference? 5 years. Not a big deal. But hope they start having those kids, because I don't want to go into that lest I cry. I did talk about Taylor and Daniel a little bit, Sarah and Ben, Evan and Virginia, Lauren and Dave, Joy and Mom. Okay. Well, okay, I did want to talk a little bit about this fascinating Alex, Meg, Mason. Who were they originally with? Who's the other one? Alex and Madison. I didn't write her name down. Madison is the most dramatic of all. Okay, I have to just figure out how to flip my crocheting to go back now. Now, this might be a little too challenging. We're gonna give it a go. Because if we are in our minds and our hearts in Minnesota, then we're gonna need to stay warm. I don't know, folks. I might have to just keep going with as long as I can. So it's a matter of focus, right? Let's just try. We're always trying new things. Madison, the most dramatic of the characters, and I would say maybe it's because she is not a Minnesotan. I felt a little betrayed. I don't know if anyone else there is not a true Minnesotan. Of course, lots of people, they all come from somewhere. But where she was coming from, Indianapolis or somewhere, no, does not count, is not Minnesotan. And I'm sorry, but I have that feeling against her. And keep in mind, this is ridiculous for me to talk about this person. This person's a real person, and they're made out to be just an edited character by the show. I realize that. I'm just talking about my reactions to this this franchise, this theatrical portrayal of characters that have been made up, exaggerated. Anywho, I was so surprised that she was so into Alex, because I would look at him, and as he said himself, what a nerd. I can say that so lovingly because nerds are my favorite, and I love nerds, and I actually probably would be very drawn to him because of his shucksness, his I love quiet, shy, nerdy boys, but I gotta say, I saw some stuff come out about him. This is ridiculous. He made a music video in his teenage years. Oh my god, can you believe that? That's so kids, boys, girls, families, there's some richness out there. There can be some money, and they are sometimes like stuck-up little rich kids, and they all live on lakes. But hey, that's cool. I mean, what can I say? These are my friends and family. We're just gossiping, okay, for fun. Anywho, I was like, that on the surface with Alex and Madison, like, that's not gonna work. She's way too hip. But then it was funny to see everyone like ragging on her art online on social media. But it's like, hey, art is objective. Stop making fun of her art. You like it, you don't like it, fine, but she can be an artist and she can have her own point of view. Okay, not to say that I didn't find her character super dramatic and like a button pusher. And then she also was with Mason, and Mason is fascinating to me because one, I heard in his, what he said about himself, which was that he grew up in Yankton, South Dakota. So immediately I looked at him and I was like, oh my god, you're my cousin, you're my friend, you're, yeah, we're South Dakota kids. I know him, we all know him. If you know your kind, you know your kind. But what is cool about him, actually I just followed him on TikTok because I like said he was going to be at a concert in a neighboring town, and it was Real Big Fish. First of all, I only liked musical theater, so anyways, I was like, I'm gonna go to show up at this concert, and I did. And I surprised him, and I was like, it's me. And it was weird, and I think he thought that I dressed too weird, but anyways, we were still in love, as you can be when you're 16, and we were boyfriend and girlfriend, and we did that for a couple years, whatnot, doesn't matter. The point is, I had my own Love is Blind experience through the first days of email, and really, I love love. And so I love this experiment. And what was that bringing me to? I don't know. I was talking about Meg and Mason and Madison and Alex. I don't seem to remember. Anywho, I really didn't mean to go off on that tangent and show and tell you my story of my high school self-made Love is Blind experience, but say lovey, the mind goes where the mind goes. Well, I think I'm gonna have to continue this scarf the next time and call this little recap good for the moment, though. It wasn't a recap, it was really just a ramble, but I wanted to see where my mind and my obsession for reality television took me. So maybe next time I'll get a little more planned out with it and actually write notes and like Game of Roses say, section 1 we have. But then again, I don't want this to become like work for me in the sense of I resent it. This is my true candy bar, my true escape delight. So if it is also yours as well,